This is a demonstration for the latest AV-Niche digital audio recorder. The recorder measures approximately 14 cm high, 30 cm wide and 23 cm deep. Included with the equipment are two microphones. These feature a status LED as well as an industry standard connector. Before we can start using the equipment, we must first plug the included power supply into the power input socket, followed by the two microphone plugs into the two microphone sockets. Once the equipment is connected, we can flick the switch to power up the recorder. When the equipment powers up, you will notice that the microphone status LEDs come on. The equipment will take roughly 10 to 15 seconds to power up before the user is presented with the touchscreen interface. The built-in high-definition touchscreen display measures 5.5 inches, and the screen layout incorporated should be familiar to anybody who has previously operated audio-video or portable variations of AV-Niche equipment. The equipment is available in 1 and 2 drive as well as network storage variations. There is also the optional feature for additional copies, which we will look at later. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be using a 2-drive recorder. The media type is also configurable. Options available are CD-R, DVD+R and DVD-R discs. As you can see, this recorder will only accept blank CD-R discs as seen in the messages on the on-screen display. To begin recording, we insert two CD-R discs. As soon as the equipment senses that a disc has been inserted, it automatically checks that it is the correct disc type, in this case CD-R, as well as making sure the disc is blank and recordable. This disc check process is relayed back to the user through the traffic light system and user messages for each individual drive. When all drives have the correct media inserted and checked, the equipment will give the user the option to record. Note that this is the only option available to the user. At this point, the user must press the record button to begin the interview. Otherwise, left in its current state, the recorder will periodically beep and eventually time out, ejecting the blank discs and returning itself to the idle mode. This timeout is configurable. To continue, simply press record. The user now has two new options: pause, which is an optional feature that can be turned off, and stop. Pressing pause pauses the recording, leaving the user options to continue recording when ready by pressing the record button, or stopping the recording by holding down the stop button. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will press record again. To end the recording, the user is required to hold down the stop button for 5 seconds. This is to prevent accidentally stopping the recording. A countdown and message will show the user of this. The disc burn process is completely automated within different stages, giving full user feedback through the traffic light system and user messages for each individual drive. The discs will be automatically verified before being ejected, telling the user that each disc produced has been successful. The discs produced have a unique identifier to that particular recording, as well as a built-in transcription player that will work on various versions of 32-bit and 64-bit Windows operating systems. After discs have been automatically ejected, the equipment allows the user to burn additional disc copies of the same recording. This is a useful feature when additional copies are only occasionally needed. To create an additional copy, we insert a blank disc into drive A. The blank disc will automatically be checked, burned, verified and ejected with no additional user input required. Note that drive B is disabled in this mode. Once the additional copy has been made and presented to the user, the equipment returns back to the additional copies screen. The user can burn a second additional copy if required. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will press stop, securely deleting the recording from the equipment, which then returns itself back to the idle screen, allowing for a new interview to take place.